respect ban from NiP of Mirage did open up Overpass. We thought it might have been Nuke, but Epsilon took the gamble, and in the end, it didn't pay off. Get right with two big clutches, one with the P250, the other with the AK to close the game. Definitely denied Epsilon of a chance of the upset, but we're not done yet. We move to Cash, and NiP a chance to wrap up in 2, or Epsilon to continue to surprise, continue to have good performances for both Disco and Draken.
Yeah, amazing talent apparently in Sweden available. It seems like they're getting more and more teams that are showing what they can do outside of the top tiers, so it's a very exciting time to be Swedish, I would say. Would you agree?
I think I do agree. And the interesting thing was the excuse before when you had Fnatic and NiP and that was it, and Pronex was still in Fnatic, is that there was a lack of in-game leaders. And we saw teams like Orbit at the time try and fail, and there's been guys like Twist that have been sitting around on the sidelines for a while, and Schneider, etc. There's always been a lot of talent. It's finally good to see it actually coming to fruition.
Yeah, and some of these lower teams as well making big names for themselves as well. It's taken NiP 16-13. Obviously on a map they're not well versed, we don't really see NiP on Overpass that often, but still a very exciting game. We move on to Cash though. These guys have already played in this tournament on Cash in the best of one earlier in the stages, but ended up 16-9. A little bit closer than I expected. That's when I didn't really have Epsilon on my radar, I have to say, but I feel like it could be even closer this time.
Yeah, and I mean, Cash for NiP, this was their direct choice. This is a map that they've definitely always been fairly decent on, but during the height of their struggle, it was also one of the ones that kind of robbed them the most, I think. If you go back to the middle of 2015 when Envious was dominant against them, and they had something like the 12-3 scoreline between them on maps, this was a map where NiP's confidence was crushed because of the fast style. They've definitely adjusted things. I think bringing Pit back in and not relying so much on, you know, the Michaelele, the Alu, the direct op player, and having that freedom between both Pith and Forest has freed them up a lot more. And I think they're a lot more dynamic on it now. So I'm curious to see how it plays out. But again, Epsilon's the one that we have to have the focus on because it's really up to them to make this make a case for this and make a game out of this.
Well, the loser does go home when he goes to the semi-final against Astralis, no less. That's going to be a hell of a semi-final tomorrow. And we are getting into this one. It's going to be D-Cash here. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise at the final time this evening. They're still there. They're still there. NiP on the T side, they're going to have 4 sets of armor and a raid boss in the form of Forest as well. Freiburg just has one single smoke. It looks like they will be favoring towards the B side as well. Potential B split coming in, as there are 2 players towards the mid warehouse as well. That smoke will be used towards CD spawn, presumably. And another run boost. I love it. Look at the speed coming around the corner there. It's not going to work out for the kill, but there it is finally. Get right, gets it. The res stepping up here with Draken once again. There's all these players on the screen, but he can't hit the shots. He can't do anything with this. He manages to stay alive, and it's going to be a man advantage going in favor of NiP. Oh, now.
Not at all. Epsilon. Zealous comes back through the vents late, finds 2, last of which is Exist. This lives Get right inside of the site again. He has to clutch it, but this time he's very low on HP. They have his position figured out. It was not likely. Epsilon again with a pistol, so once more they're answering the task of finding opening and good starts in this series. And Zealous again with 2 kills. Rez equaling that. It's going to be just Get right that picked up anything for NiP. Now the question is, without the, and you mentioned this, when you get a bomb down, you kind of have to respect it and go for an early rifle buy. Without the bomb down, they know NiP is going to be limited in this round and as well as the next. Away from the guns, they can afford these SMGs up early.
Well, it's going to be Desert Eagles, body armor, and a smoke and a flashbang. Let's see what the NiP decide to do here. 4 players towards the B side of the map, and very scared about that run boost as well in the pistol. It seems like that's becoming a thing in CSGO more and more frequently now to surprise opponents.
They're getting more athletic.
Yes.
Slowly.
Draken, though, he had an opportunity to get 2 or 3 kills, just couldn't land any bullets, backed up by his teammates, so, and it's a strong retake that gets in the pistol against round number 2. So NiP can land any of these Desert Eagle shots. Draken waits below the boost.
Pit's making a lot of noise out here as well. Draken does spawn up Exist instead. That'll give Pit the information, but it won't matter. The UMP able to hold true to its name and take down players in round 2 that don't, or do, in this case, have armor. It doesn't matter. It's decent in these situations no matter what. As Draken's going to continue to stay up close and wreak havoc for us. The next one in his sights, he'll be found. Quick dink, and then the ensuing body shot to close him out.
Yeah, really decent work there from Draken. Gets 3 kills. He's held in middle by himself as well, and completely avoids any threat there of the boost. It's going to be 5 on 2. Get right and Freiburg remain. It's a nice shot there from Get right. Still not going to be enough to get them into this round, but it's definitely a start.
Epsilon, though, Rez has to back away. Good flash out as they try and enter in. Leaves once again just Get right. He slipped over toward the headshot position, but Rez is going to be staring him down with that, excuse me, the FAMAS as Draken walks back in. So it will go 2-0 for Epsilon. Convincing fashion again here. Very efficient start. 3 kills only for NiP. All of them to Get right. But more importantly, Not much lost in that round for Epsilon, and where they were running the SMGs, the heavy SMGs, and Rez only getting the 1 kill in the FAMAS. A lot of guys made money in that round, and it'll put them in a good position when they do go into the first gun round. If they don't want to, run that bonus round we talk about, where they don't want to keep the SMGs to try and build it up, they can get onto the rifles without much hassle.
We'll see what they decide to do here. They have got a UMP 7 and a P90. It's going to be B once again, but it's Freddy B this time with the UMP. He gets the first kill, and he's looked like he's going to clean up here. He gets a second and a third as well, the USP. Finally, they respond.
Clipped Get Right as he fell back as well, so he actually found a 4th kill as he died, but that was an impressive shot. Zealous will go on the hunt. Forrest has already faded back toward T-spawn. I know Alex was, Alex being cheesy as he is, was very pleased to see that his name was Freddy B playing on B.
Is that even funny?
It's not, but this is the type of humor that Alex has.
Very simple mind, it seems. But I still love him,
Someone has to. So Forrest just gonna bait this out. Minute to go. All he really can hope to do is damage to the CT economy, and picking up a gun's not even a likely scenario, but he'll take it if he can get it. Zealous isn't gonna allow it. P90 for him. Quick kill. Again, not many kills for NiP.
Well, Epsilon managed to keep everyone alive, so actually said this bonus round. Actually, Freddy B went down, actually. So they managed to keep an MP7, a P90, and they actually could upgrade that MP7 to an M4. I think that's definitely the right move. There's the chance for the bonus round, but there's so much on the line right now. They want to make sure they're winning rounds instead of trying to increase their bank account. It's not worth the risk, in my opinion. The P90 is definitely a lot more viable as we go into round number 4 here. No AWP available for NiP, but Draken has decided to pick one of those up himself. It's going to be aggressive play from the CT, potentially towards A main. There it is. It's Rez going into B, in fact. It takes down Get Right.
Good start again against these AKs. Freibergen around the corner, trying to open this up from the checker room. Does find the first one on a Freddy. Tries for a fast repeak on this. Does Draken. That would have left him exposed to Exist, but he wasn't in a position to peek it out, and Rez is going to get Freiberg for free as a result of this, because Exist's position is still too passive, and Forrest and Pith started to rotate back over toward B. They gave up on A with the aggressive stance and the late smoke out on A main, but they don't really have ground to walk on yet. So Epsilon doing very well to hold off NiP in this first gun.
Yeah, Rez especially. Pushing that B storage yet, but look at Forrest. Great position here, but he has been detected by Zealous. Not going to be committing to that frag, though. If he goes down, that opens up a window of opportunity for NiP. His teammates, though, will be rotating back towards A. They have 2 smokes available and flashbangs here. We can see Disco Doppelin is actually in a fantastic position towards the A side, boosted up on top of the light there.
Forrest is going to fall away from this quick little flash to get out. But it's Pith and Exist well and truly ahead of him that are going to try and open this up. Exist with only 12 HP. Zealous that truck. It's Disco that's the only one inside of the site, but good position. No Molotov. There is a smoke. They elect to throw that top highway. That'll limit the truck position. Zealous out of position as a result, has to rotate back in. Good flames to counter off the entrance. Take down Pith. They spotted the others inside of A main, and it's getting harder and harder for NiP. But Forrest, good shot on the entry. Regrabs the bomb as well, but Zealous times it perfectly with the P90. He'll take down Exist, and there's only 4 seconds, no plant available, and Forrest has to die now. Thankfully, he does before the time expires.
4 in a row for Epsilon, and you can see these guys know exactly what they're doing. The time was running very low there. It's Disco Doppelin left on A, like you said, but he gets the first kill and doesn't overcommit. He doesn't give his frag away at that point. Wants to run the clock down even lower, apply so much pressure in the NiP camp, and it works out very nicely for him indeed. They should kill Forrest 1 second to spare, and he would have gone into this round with no money had he not died. So it's a little bit fortunate for Forrest there. Round number 5, and it's like a partial buy for NiP here. Just some pistols and body armor. We've got a flashbang as well. Going to be most of their efforts towards the A side of things. 1 flash is all they have to work for. They have to push through the smoke, and that's a hell of an aid to go in.
Ooh, that flash, though, perfectly timed. They're on the edge of the smoke. They're already through it. They try and wrap it around, but Disco holds true. M4 sprays down out of bullets. He has to switch over to the USP. This is going to put him low. It's only the 1 kill managed from Freiberg, so it's threatless in the end. Epsilon, again, pistol round we mentioned to start, but not only that, the 5 rounds. It's going to be an AWP, though, for Forrest. He's going to go up against Draken. He's dropped over an M4 because he had 9,100 leading into this, so they're building up a decent bank on the Epsilon side as well.
Well, here we go then, round number 6. I wouldn't be surprised if Epsilon keep applying the pressure here, keep going for those aggressive faces and trying to find the first kill and not allow NiP to run any sort of default here, or maybe a set piece. It's going to be Disco Doppelin looking to change things up slightly here. He's going to be pushing actually into A main. He's made it in as well, past the smoke. Good boost up on towards those boxes here.
Let's go. The known spot. He's got the line up desperately close to taking down Forrest, who falls to 22. A single bullet further would have done it. Freiberg's going to try and spray through that garage. Nearly finds Zealous on the other side, who's waiting at mid. Re-smokes that off. Gap in it, though. I think that's just light, so there should be a gap on the left of that.
It's a very common spot, that, to smoke into main and try and get a shot out of the smoke. Very unlucky not to take down Forrest. He takes a ton of damage himself, but manages to get out safely. Forrest now repositioning himself towards middle. It's going to be Freiberg getting the first kill there. Takes down Zealous, but it's answer back straight away. Draken, WP kill on towards Freiberg himself. 4-4 now, time ticking away.
That was a bit of a bold play to flash himself in. Zealous gave away the man advantage, but like you say, Draken immediately refragging, and he's rotated back up highway. Didn't want to have to face again to try and get toward that connector, and he's playing CT, so they'll give up middle, but they leave him in a position where they anchored the sights. They don't allow them to push through and try and divide the rotates. Instead, it's going to be the A side that's attacked. The problem is with Draken that far away from Truck on the AWP, it leaves Disco literally alone this time with the M4.
You can see hitting the squeaky door right now. He'll be smoking off towards quad, and then it's up to Disco Doppelin. He's going to flash through and see what he can do with this, trying to deny the plan and just run the clock down as long as possible.
Such an easy smoke out from Pith as well, designed for exactly this. He needs to wrap through them, but he can't go all the way. And Disco, he spots him coming. It's all gone the way of Epsilon. And Forrest, 10 seconds, no bomb plant again for NiP. They're not even finding openings in these rounds.
Absolutely not. Really calculated play once again. It's Draken that gets 3 kills, and Disco Doppelin just seems like he knows exactly what he has to do just to win them rounds. He's not trying to go for the flashy plays here. He sees the smoke coming in, he can hear the footsteps dropped, and he gets the incendiary right on the bomb side there, so they can't actually go for the plan and rush it when the time is ticking away, so it's very nice stuff from him.
He seems more than competent to hold that A side alone. They've done it now twice. He's been successful both times in playing the time. And 7th round starting, there's only been 8 kills for NiP. There's been no bomb plants.
No
and
kills
a timeout
for Pit or Exist yet after 6 rounds. Yeah, they're just struggling to get anything going here. There's been no clutch situations possible. Just every time they get to the bomb site, it's getting locked down time and time again. It's Draken and Disco have been a real nuisance for them. This time, though, NiP have got control of middle at least. Pushing back the CTs there with the early flashbangs. They've got a force buy here. 3 rifles and 2 Tech 9s. Forrest has got the AWP. Fires off the first shot, but can't land anything just yet.
Already down on the other side of the drop as well, inside of middle. Get right as well, in the vents. Artie and Draken go passive in B. Get right's got the opportunity to go a little bit further beyond this if he elects to. Of course, if he falls in, he's committed, so he may not just yet. He'll wait for more information. That information likely to come from the likes of Freiberg or Pith, who's playing out towards Squeaky. And a change of play inside of this A side as well. Disco's not playing a quad this time, over toward the catwalk. It's Rez on the site that'll be the first point of contact. And with no Molotovs, they can't clear out behind that forklift.
He's ready to drop the incendiary as soon as they do something. There's the run boost once again. It's Forrest that's trying to find something here. The flashbang denies him any chance to face once again, but it's going to be Doppelin once again, opening it up and double frag for the CTs.
Oh, second time's a charm, but that could have cost them dearly as Disco. It looked like that first one from Forrest hit. It just clips the edge of that forklift, and Rez is still alive in this, though. He was the one that spotted the run boost to start this off. It's down to just Freiberg, and once again, it's going to be Epsilon losing only a single member. NiP's map pick, and they have 9 kills and no bomb plants 8 rounds in.
Timeout for sure. Let's calm down, NiP. What the hell's going on right now? They actually had quite a convincing win against Epsilon earlier on. I said this game would be close, but I didn't think Epsilon would run away with it this stage of the game. NiP just trying to run these defaults, trying to get some picks here, but the run boost coming in from Forrest doesn't really work out for them. They're just getting segregated. The flashbangs come in. It's just really calculated play from Epsilon. Facing together, denying them any sort of possibility to get into the bomb site. It's really well done so far, and the money is out of control for them. They've got a 12k on Rez after the reinvestment, and 10k on Draken as well. It's looking very positive for them. NiP going to the next round. Got a timeout right now to try to decide how they approach the situation. Definitely can't get an AWP, that's not possible. They could get Tech 9s, they could get Galils, and it looks like Freiberg's going in with the Tech 9 armor. He's leaving 1,400 residual cash, so it looks like Otis will be a partial buy here. Not going to be fully investing into it. With these Tech 9s, can be very powerful on a map like Cash. Go towards that A site, you smoke off towards Highway and Quad, flash over with some Molotovs as well. And the run and gun potential of the Tech 9 really can cause a nuisance onto the A side. We haven't seen much explosive stuff from NiP. He's getting some mid-control, running the standards, trying to get picks, but they're not getting those picks. That's the problem right now. The timer will be coming in. But, yeah, this is amazing stuff from Epsilon so far.
The man in the middle of the screen there. Zealous has as many kills as the entire NiP team at 9-1, 8-0 for Draken.
On the screen right now. Get right checking, he's just there still, he is.
Still having a little bit of personality, so they're not completely dejected by this.
Oh. Don't expect NiP to win this round, but they can get a bomb plant down and potentially get lucky with the opening frag. If they can get one opening kill through the smoke as they run through on the A site, that'd be great, but they have been heavily focusing on the B side, a lot of their gunners. Maybe they'll just decide to go there again. I have to say, I'm not a big fan of all the run boosts they're trying to do at the moment. It hasn't really worked out for them. Trying to be a little bit creative, but it's not really.
I mean, forced to get position on Disco. He just missed on that first shot, which cost them. I mean, and it's. I mean, let's face it. It's a play that's flashy, but to hit that one angle, they still haven't cleared out quad, which is far more dangerous.
Well, here we go. Then looks like it will be an attack. As I said, smoke. They've got 5 smoke competitors. They could do the full execution here, but smoke's going on towards upper and see what they can do. Yeah, they will be lining up fully here. So let's see whether they go towards the A side or maybe they'll decide to fake. Maybe boost up towards middle. Smoke's dropped in and the CT's throwing everything they have past the smokes.
Distant Forest will lead the charge. Forest will now join Get Right from trying to split this. No, I take that back. He goes toward Draken. Great up close shot. Get Right's in the A site though. Good smokes in, and that's going to allow him to find Zealous. Finally, they get an opening in a site. Get Right picks up an AK. Bomb's going to go down. Very open plant, which will allow them to play the post inside of A main. And Draken smoked off. Can't catch Freiburg on the exit, but look at the HP. It's so low. 12, 29, 15 for Freiburg. Get Right exist respectively. Beyond the smoke, they still don't have the angles though. That nade toward quad, not going to find an intended target. It was, thankfully, as well. Pitt playing there. He's the one with enough HP that he would have been able to sustain that. And Get Right, who started this off by getting in the A site, takes down Freddy. This bomb's ticking quicker and quicker. There is kits of the 2 remaining players for Epsilon, but they have to find the kills. First one goes to Rez, smoke on top of it. They're going to try and hold this. The Flames aren't entirely on top of it. They need to find the angle. He may just get this right now, and they do! Epsilon! Oh, and they finally had a chance on NiP. They steal it away.
What a play there. The bomb was about to explode. They chuck it on the smoke in front of it, and the full defuse comes in. NiP had that tied up. Surely it was a 4-on-2 at one point. And Epsilon get the 8th round. What a round it was. NiP, it was promising at least. It was only Tech 9s they had to get the bomb planted in such an advantageous position, thrown away. They tried firing off all the bullets they had towards that bomb and just couldn't find it, and it's really calculated stuff there from Epsilon. They're actually going to be upgraded to an AUG now on Doppler. Why not? Definitely a viable weapon, just a little bit unorthodox. Well, no wall once again on Forest, not really feeling it, it seems.
Encouraging aspect is that they did go a little bit more execution based toward that A site with the set smokes, and with pistols they had their best round yet. So now that they have the rifles out, if they can continue that momentum, there's a start to it. But Get Right in with one, immediately traded. Thankfully that goes back, but Freiburg's traded as well, so it sits to 3 versus 3. If they can slow this down on NiP, they can control the pace on this though, because there's a minute and 10 seconds to work with and a very thinned out defense.
3-on-3, ball making his way towards A, but the problem is Disco Doppler is the one waiting for them. He's got an incendiary to slow them down as well, but they have got time to play with. AUG is scoped in towards A main, could do something with this.
Disco's been so good here too.
Yeah, absolutely. Anchoring the side by himself and just getting amazing results.
Double Molotov though, that's going to leave him in an awkward position. Forrest is able to capitalize. 1 kill, he's running the AUG as well. Rez gets to the top of highway, smoke off. That'll allow Pitt to get toward the default position, but he's not the one with the bomb. He has to allow Forrest instead to get in position to plant, putting him at quad, which is open to Rez, who reads it perfectly, knows they're still on the site, and Forrest has to clutch this out now. 1 versus 2. Again, it's Epsilon in a good position, both with kits, lots of time. Forrest makes it look dangerous, but taps away and manages to find the headshot, but he goes down to 28 in the process, and look at the angle lineup, he times it perfectly. Finally, NiP will get themselves around. But they do it with 1 player alive, and now it's a reset.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. It wasn't the most convincing round at 2 versus 1. Someone had to step up. That man was Forrest in the quad area. This was a great shot here, but it just came down to the subtle timings of who was going to win it. 1 bullet would have taken Forrest out of that equation, but as you said, NiP finally arrive here on cash. It's round number 10, and the full reset is definitely a potential. Need to be winning this round to go forward. It's going to be aggressive play from the CD towards B storage. Good flashbangs in. Get Right trying to escape is desperately. He gets taken down. It's actually Freiburg first, and Get Right responds.
Good flashback in. That could have been even worse, but they managed to pull this back. Again, NiP desperate. If you go 8-1, you reset mid-half, this could easily slip to like an 11-4, 12-3 scenario, just based on money alone if NiP's not careful. So this round very important, and that nade landing almost on the toes of Get Right takes him down to 12 HP. He can't afford to stay aggressive now.
He manages to respond to that initial push from the CTs now, but look at Pitt. He has got all the squeaky door. This time it's going to be Drake on the A side. They have changed their setup slightly with that aggressive push towards B, so he'll be waiting for any sort of play towards the A side. Here come the smokes now. Can he step up?
Draken relocating with that AWP with the smoke in front. Freddy down to buy Pitt on entry. Draken's gonna have to hit some close shots. Doesn't find the first one. It's Pitt, but he does get the no-scope, but he almost lines up another. Forrest is able to pull it back. It's all on a res, and he's a long way from the A site, but so too is Get Right. But he may just catch him. Get Right, no, good read. Get Right was waiting for that with the low HP. He wanted to keep this alive, give Forrest the chance, and Forrest didn't able to plant the bomb in that time. Has an AWP, but missed a shot. And even though he's at 100 HP, that M4 gets desperately close, so Forrest is gonna try and force the issue. He'll hear Rez trying to get to the open. There's the missed shot, now the chance. Forrest, he goes low, he's down to 32 HP, and they're trying to find each other. He's gonna stay on the AWP. There's no rifle nearby, and Rez gets found. Forrest again, he's able to hold on.
Did you see that? As he's reloading, his barrel is sticking in the air. That's how Forrest got the read on him. That's such a cool way to finish things off. 2 clutches in a row. 1 versus 1 situation. Forrest is keeping the dream alive somewhere here. Like we said, that would have been a full reset, so it's a huge round for NiP to win. Not going to be breaking the economy of Epsilon just yet. They've had a huge amount of rounds going in their favor, 8-0 before NiP strike back. It's going to be the double AWP setup this time. Epsilon are feeling the burn a little bit. You can see Zelos just in the CZ, but the 2 AWPs certainly make up for it. Let's see what they can do this round. It was aggressive last time. They're going to have a lot more presence towards middle. Default play coming in from NiP. Forrest back and towards the AWP itself.
This is a good, smart play from Exist to read this counter boost potential.
Yeah.
So desperately close. Zelos makes 1 step.
He's only got the CZ, right? So it's very unlikely he's actually going to go with the fake. He's hoping someone boosts up like a Forest, and that's actually great for you, and I think just and chucking a Molotov up there, they're any sort of threat on the other side, and now they know they're safe in that position.
They're trying to play this slow. The awkward part is still this double op setup that presents itself, even with that single pistol in the mix for Epsilon. They still want to try and capitalize on the weakened economy of NiP, but Get Right. This could be the round. If they can pull this one off, that really stabilizes them. Finds the first pick. Freddy goes down. Zealous is going to try and push back in with the wall of smokes out. He'll anticipate that they're going toward the vents, which is so often the case with this setup, but right now they're not. NiP's going to fall away from this. It's just Forrest. And he may just sit to wait to hold that angle, because with Get Right getting Drake, and they don't need his assistance inside of that B side. He can just watch the rotations. Does manage to get the tag. What? Second one's better. Doesn't hold on though. Rez with the M4 able to reposition himself and take him down. That's AWP drop, but again though, it's 2 versus 4, and NiP has full control and bomb now down on B site.
I think the CTs will just be taking the double AWPs away and saving them at this point. Rez trying to find out where that AWP is, manages to pick it up as well, but Pitt's there, takes him down. And up to Disco Doppler now to try and save the AWP. It will be pretty safe towards the squeaky door area.
And importantly too, Pith will pick that up back up now for NiP.
Yeah.
Should do at the end of the round. And 4 alive finally.
Much more composed stuff there from NiP. It was the force buy from Epsilon, the double AWP setup, not really working out for them. They only managed to pick up 1 frag here. And this should break the economy of Epsilon going to the next round, but they say the AWP, there's always potential to step up and find a couple of frags here, whether you go towards B storage at the start, maybe push squeaky door. There's so many options, and Cash is just one of those maps where big AWP players can come to life and cause absolute chaos here. But there it is, 3 in a row for NiP after the initial struggle. Let's see how Epsilon decide to respond to this one. With the AWP save, do they decide to force into this round and take the all-in risk?
That single op, it's going to be an equal buy. Perhaps smart from Epsilon to play the long game. They've got enough of a lead.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's going to be just leveling themselves to about 2K around this AWP. It's with a Deagle, a P250, and 2 CZ75s. Fast push as well for Zelos. Flash comes in to try and get out toward that squeaky door on A. Meanwhile, Freiburg in mid. Just put some damage back in the other direction. They have got Disco out there right now with the AWP. So if Pith and Exist try to go toward this long position, they've got a rude awakening in store for them when they walk around the corner.
Leave Disco Doppler there in the squeaky door area, hoping to get that frag on Freiburg, but it's very disciplined play from NiP, not risking anything, going to be getting together at some point. It's holding the default for now and then executing fully onto the bomb site. Get Right open things up, takes down Freddy B. Here's the response from the CTs, pushing into A main, and now they have worked out the AWP is on the A site. Surely going to fall back to B. They have mid control as well. Split the B side before the AWP has a chance to rotate, and this should be round over.
Get Right's done so well to find the opening picks in this game for NiP. They may not have many rounds, but the ones they do are largely in part to him. Even if Forrest is clutching them out, it's him to start them off. Freiberg this time, though, to take down Draken. On the entrance, Zealous tries to execute Trigger Discipline toward the Toxic Room, but that doesn't work out with Freiberg flying around the corner, and Disco's going to bail again to try and keep this AWP. Again, the money, they did level it out. It'll be a 4-round bonus now that's going to stack up against them. They'll be able to have a decent buy, but Disco still, it's worth keeping this weapon.
Oh.
Not going to happen at all. Get right.
Okay. Looked like Disco had that one completely saved, and had he have done that as well, that would have helped boost the economy of the CTs. I think we have a pause coming in for Epsilon. At this point, they've lost 4 rounds in a row. They probably want to calculate themselves after going up 8-0. Things seem to be slipping away a little bit.
And it was at 7-0 when NiP called theirs on an eco. They almost won that, and then they've won the next 4. So their timeout definitely worked.
It's pretty much down to Forrest's massive clutch potential there. He's been stellar for them on cash, although they only have 4 rounds. He's been the one actually gaining them 4 on those great situations. Round number 13 now. Epsilon need to decide how they approach the situation. Definitely have enough to buy. It will be a little bit of a struggle though. It's about 5k average for the team across the board. Could get double AWPs they wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend they just try and have the solo AWP on Drake, and perhaps he can lock down the B side by himself, maybe have some more mid-aggression here, and the CTs have some more presence towards that area, 1 player on the vents. But it definitely has been halted here. Once again, a lot of defaults from NiP.
Did Get Right just get flashed? Is that like the Get Right flashbang?
I missed it. What happened?
Just like the wide eyes that he always does.
Oh, he always plays up to the camera. He's a little show-off.
You said that with a sense of resentment.
Well, at this point, yet to buy Epsilon. I assume they all just have 1 AWP, 4 rifles. I think they'll go for more of a default play here. The aggressive stuff seems to be locked down here, and we see threats kind of address those issues and hold a much more passive setup here. Freiberg not challenging at all towards Squeaky, even though he knows players are there, holding up, molotoving off towards a boost, not allowing anything to be a risk factor. The buy slowly coming in for Epsilon now. It's going to be 2 rifles so far. They've got decent utility as well. It's going to be smokes, incendiaries, and the AWP on Drake, and there it is. So no double AWP set up and no head armor required, of course. That's a way to boost the coffers a little bit. AK is going to be a 1-shot headshot anyway. Get them back into it.
As you said, it is the single op setup. It's going to be Drake, and buys fully into it, manages just enough to get armor. That takes him to 0, just the AWP and the chest plate. But, well, people behind us certainly are aware. We are back, and it's going to be Forrest on the AWP for NiP.
Yep.
It's setting up the default Molotov out toward the vent. That'll give Get Right the opportunity to wrap around the corner more comfortably. But he's confronted, and it's Freddie B this time that silences him again. Get Right has been instrumental in opening up rounds, so that's a big kill for them to get early and res onto Freiberg. Better still, so whatever they came up with, Epsilon, to just stay and hold angles, perhaps get less aggressive, it certainly worked this CT side. They've also gone for a boost in the A site, which we've yet to see.
Well then, a 3rd player drop for NiP this round has just fallen apart. It's Get Right, who's known for doing that flashbang through the mid-warehouse there and trying to get the first frag. The surprise play doesn't really work out for him, and the rest of his teammates seem to be falling straight after. It's going to be Forrest though, getting in an interesting position, but you can see Freddie B in spawn there, waiting for him to make his move around the corner. I don't really think he can do much here. Yep, swaps out to the Tech 9. Realizes this isn't the greatest angle for him. Exists locked out at Squeaky Door. He gives his position away.
Position given away in Disco. Forrest does pull one back. Is on the light above the door. So Exists not likely to check that angle at all.
I wouldn't say so.
You can leave Forrest, though, to get into position. That'll open it up. That's perfect play from them, because now Exist can walk out. Zealous knows he's surrounded. He's going to try and make a move. That's missed time. They pull this back. It's all come the other way, and a brilliant pullback from NiP. All in again, Forrest getting position. Smoke off to cover A main. They know a potential flank coming the other direction, and that's not wrong, as Draken is inside of the A main position, but Rez is going to get closer first. Ticket booth to keep him alive as he creeps up highway. He's only got 11 HP, so this is now favoring NiP. More so because there's only 1 kit. That's on Rez, the low HP player, but he's done damage back to Exist. And better still, they find the shot. Draken finds Forrest, and there it is. Rez, they'll close it out, they'll get on the site, and they'll easily get the defuse.
Well, after what looked like a horrible round for NiP, they managed to bring it into a 2-on-2 situation. Absolute masterclass from Forrest here in terms of positional control. Gets himself in towards connector and just times it to perfection as well. Kills on player in CD spawn, gets that boost as well on the light as well. Comes down to 2-on-2. They're unable to hold them off, and this is the play on the screen right now. Really well done from him. Just doesn't spot him on the first peak, but there it is on the second.
It's one of those angles you'd never check from there. So
Absolutely.
he was, wait a minute, did I see a guy?
We're on number 14. Look at the money for CTs as well. It's a full buy from them, and they were to lose it, so they'll be struggling in the round number 15. But NiP, only 4 rounds on the terrorist out of cash right now. Epsilon definitely have impressed me the most, but Forest detecting a play on the other side of the smoke, perhaps.
GetRight's going to back away despite the flash shoulder from Rez shown. Still no opportunity for a shot. He's just going to wait a Toxic to see if they try and push through late to get information while NiP puts pressure on the other side of the map. Wall of smoke out in mid. No one's going to act on this. They've actually given up middle on the Epsilon side with Freddy inside a Toxic, or excuse me, inside a Checker rather, and Drake in back a tree. Mid's open for a play, a split onto A, but the problem is that 1 kill into Pith might discourage it. And it starts to favor the position of Freddy right now inside a Checker.
Yeah, a little bit of an alley-oop there from the CTs. The Orb does a ton of damage through the door, and the P90 running in, causing some havoc there. But Forest does reply, takes down Zelos with the AK-47, brings it into a neutral situation. 4-on-4, but Freddy B, he finds the next kill on Freiburg.
Drake, in making it worse, is going to take down Forest, who had done the good work onto A to try and make that an option again. So 2-on-4 again for NiP. This time don't quite have the same positioning that Forest was able to achieve, but they do have mid to work with. They don't have Exist. Disco finding the shot onto him, and GetRight 1 versus 4. Bomb in hand, 27 seconds. Noise made. Good shot though, Freddy down. It's heaven that the next challenge comes from. No peek right now from Freddy, or excuse me, from Rez. He's going to wait it out, but GetRight, he's aware of it. The problem is he has to make haste because Draken's coming in from behind him. He's going to be left in the open. He has to go behind the box as the Molotov forces him to do so. That gives the position away. And the AWP, there's 2 of them on this retake, but they've got the lineup on the angles, so GetRight, he doesn't really need to face this off. If he can just limit himself here, if he can limit the opportunity and force Rez to have to enter, he could have a chance at this, but Disco's waiting, and the patience pays off.
Yeah, well, he's had some great clutches this tournament, but even that was a stretch too far. 3-on-1, they knew exactly where he was as well. He had to land that one, but a headshot towards heaven to even have any sort of footing into that round, but it's 10-4. NiP up against the ropes right now. It's round number 15. They still have money available. And the CT's back on that double orb setup as well to be Forest joining in with them. This is looking very promising for Epsilon. The first time these guys played in cash, it was 69. Yep. They've managed to beat that in the first half already, so very promising indeed.
And that would have been a reset as well for NiP on Epsilon going into round 15.
Yeah.
So it could have come into 9-6 again. Freddy, a little more aggressive this time. He's going to play on the open side of the box inside of the B tunnels. Ellis as well in behind the forklift, daring that door to open. Forest may do so, but it's not before Exist crossed over. That gives him the opportunity to find the headshot. GetRight's fallen to Draken, though. That pulls it back, and Rez is still trying to find a shot through the smoke. Disco getting ever closer. Watch the flank coming in right now from Freddy as well, because they're going to go. It's default planted tight. They can't rely on A main as their default position, but Freddy's going to try and wrap around. He may like to go to the door.
Yeah, I think he will.
Oh, is he going to do it? I thought he might. Either way, Draken's got the shot onto Exist, and that makes things harder still as Forest. AWP looking toward truck again. This is buying space for Freddy. Doors open for him too. It's all too easy. First shot done. He's run low on ammunition, but Forest is forced out of the smoke, and Freddy holds it. It's going to go 11-4. Well done from Epsilon. A very good first half.
Yeah, very calm and disciplined retake there. Just waiting for Freddy to get in position. The door's open for him. That's an absolute amazing opportunity. He comes out. His teammates are getting a lot of distraction for him, and it's a really good retake there. 11-4 in favor of Epsilon. A team that have never even played on the big stage before, taking one of the world's best in a very uncomfortable situation. We go into the second half now. You feel like this is a must-win round for NiP. If Epsilon were to get this and get the 3-0, then in touching distance, taking his second map. Man on your screen right now, Threat, trying to keep things together. It was pretty heated outside after the first map, even though they won, just about. They didn't seem happy about it.
NiP did not.
No.
It was closer than they would have expected and liked.
Yeah, they didn't look like happy campers, I'll say that much.
Well, Epsilon certainly has to be pleased with their performance in this tournament again. They came in expected to be the first out of their group. They knock out Hellraisers, and they've definitely put up a contest in this. Taking all the time available to them at half before they get back underway. And remember, Epsilon has been deadly in pistols.
Absolutely. They were coined the underdog going into this series and didn't really have much to lose, and that's evident in their play. Fearless, happy to push into high-pressure situations, landing their shots as well. Players like Draken and Disco Doppelin holding sites by themselves and is hitting absolutely everything. We go into the pistol round of the second half here. NiP, 4 players to go towards the A site here. It's going to be aggressive play from Get Right towards Squeaky Door. Epsilon are waiting for them on the other side.
Good shot from Get Right. He's followed it up. He's got 2. That's going to make the pistols harder for Epsilon. A third as well. Bomb down. Have to commit to this position. Zealous will easily achieve that, but Pith's already hot on the case. He's already in position. And it just remains on Freddy. So NiP, much needed pistol. So far, so good. Down to a 1 versus 3 with Freddy's kill, but Get Right, what a performance to start it off.
Yeah, lovely stuff from him. You could see Epsilon weren't really ready for that. They wanted to go for a very slow play. It's quite rare for a CT to push that aggressively by himself so early on the round, and it's Get Right. It's hit absolutely everything as well. Takes down 3, Pit finds the 4th, and this could be Freddy B now. No bomb, and not really much to work with. The best he can really hope for in this situation is to build up some money with some kills. We've got 1 more kill, thanks to $300. He already has taken down 1 player. Picked up the silent USP as well. At least that's an upgrade. Has to check absolutely every angle here before he even gets close to where the bomb has dropped.
Spots up at least 1 player showing. They've got the information. 39 seconds. He'll go for it. But pulling this off would be more than impressive.
Godlike, I would say.
Yeah, smoke as well.
Look at that.
Good luck. Have fun. Or don't. Doesn't really matter. They don't care. They just want to win the round. Flash as well. Why not use all the utility? Down to 19 seconds. This does damage to him. He's down to 8. 1 more bullet. They don't go for the knife smartly. They just want to get it over with, and Freiberg will close it.
Explosive pistol there from NiP. I said they needed that just to get them back into this game. Get Right pushing in. Here's a replay on the screen right now. Like you said, you can see Epsilon setting up for a set piece there potentially as well. He's working out some smokes, but Get Right shuts down the party pretty early on and gets control of the bomb. And we go into round number 2. No plan for Epsilon, so they'll be forcing up in the second. Draken's going to join them as well. Tech9's PT50's got 3 smokes, so this will be similar thing to what we saw from NiP. Try and get the set piece down in terms of smoke towards highway, quad, maybe 1 on towards the upper platform as well. You can see that's where we have 1 CT player waiting for them as well, so that will take him out of the round and try and get the plan down, make things uncomfortable for the CTs. They can do more than that, that'll be amazing. Let's see what they manage to achieve there.
Spray down, exist. He gets 1. Get Right can't achieve the same feat onto Rez. He puts him to 12 HP though, but that's enough for him to get onto the site and potentially get a bomb down out of this. They haven't committed to planting it just yet, but they will do so now. Flash over, not a Molotov. Thought maybe they could try and deny that with 12 HP on Rez, but not to be. Nade will. After the fact, some money's been gathered from Epsilon. They're still going to push into this and try and hold. Zealous gets the information, calls the Forest is in the site. Tries to bail out Draken in that sense, but he's actually overlooked him with Freddy taking down Freiberg. It's on to Pith. Oh, no. He's got Refuse being held down, and thankfully Pith is going to take down Zealous, because then things could have been really awkward on that Defuse with no kit.
Yeah, absolutely. With the no kit there, had that kill gone in favor of the terrorist at 1 versus 1, he'd have to get off the bomb and could have fallen apart of the seams there, but NiP hold on just about. It was a great execution from Epsilon there, going a little bit early, I would say, just as the smoke's going over. I guess the idea behind that is if you jump out just before the smoke's blowing, the CT see them coming over the top, you could find them with nades in their hands. That could be quite an interesting idea, but going to round number 18 here. It's going to be pretty much a full eco. Epsilon getting the bomb down once again means to have a nice healthy buy going into the third. We're going to the fourth, I should say, but PT50s and flashbangs this round. Desert Eagle in the hand of Disco Doppelin will be sending 3 players towards B sword, I think. Rez is going to be out on the A side. How is he going to do anything with this?
Desperate with that P250 as he continues to drift back and forth and look for the shot on to Get Right. It's Forrest instead that'll find Draken and Freiberg on to Disco. Good set inside of B, won't allow access at all. Both those players with kills now allow Get Right to get res, and it's going to just be Zealous walking out of the middle. Pits and vents exist way back towards Z. Straightforward, very good positioning from NiP in this. Don't even allow entrances to the site. Shut down on arrival. It pulls them back to 11-7. And now guns come out. Immediate AWP for Draken, but it's going to be the glass cannon.
Yep, indeed. Makes him very susceptible to grenades across the board. And you can see it's going to be Freiberg keeping his MP7. That's the kind of bonus play that could be dangerous, especially when you have unarmed players on your team. Let's see where he decides to position himself. He's actually going to be going towards middle. Maybe push through that smoke, go for the early pick and try and make the SMP work in his favor. Looks like Epsilon, though, going for the default play, a little bit faster towards A main. The boost coming in for that B. This could be interesting.
That bullet hole. Exist says, no thanks, I'm out of there, but it works out. finds Disco. That was so close.
It's a weird way to do the boost. Most teams will do the run boost, and NiP have been doing those all game. It's surprising they didn't go for that, but...
Yeah, right. That's the one you want to go for that exact reason.
Exactly. Oh well, they managed to dodge the bullet. Neo Star. 5-4 in their favor.
Draken now trying to find an opening, but smokes out on a Molotov to limit him. Position from Get Right was staring at the fence. They've dropped that smoke out between both the entrance onto the default plant spot and the fence, but Get Right's not really worried about it. He's just going to sit behind. They have to commit to get that far, and if they do that, they have to confront, well, now a boost. It would have been Exist on the cross, and Pith, who's gone back down highway with this boost in place. They've got the information. Get Right finds the kill as well. The door open. They know there was one out towards Squeaky, but they can't necessarily find Rez just yet.
Well, so far a dream start for this round for NiP. That continues to apply pressure towards Epsilon here. 5-on-2, Freddy B low HP as well, and they have spotted the last two remaining players. They're both going towards middle, have 25 seconds remaining, and Pitt looking to shut them down here as he is getting some bait in from Freiberg. Not going to work out though. Freddy B with a great shot towards him, and is just to finish things off. He's had a very quiet game so far, but looks like he still has some fight left in him yet, and that's going to break the economy of Epsilon so far. So 11-8, and we're certainly going to be number 9 coming in from NiP here. Just a little partial buy from Epsilon. Once again, Tech 9s and armors and smoke grenades available. This was the play that got things a little bit interesting now.
Well, either way, like you say, it's going to be pistols again for Epsilon and NiP. Another round closer. So they've gotten all 4 so far on NiP to start it off 11-4 at half to now 8 rounds for them. Zealous looking to set the smoke. Set a smoke inside of the A site. Get Right above that on Catwalk is already spotted as they rush quickly through the door to try and get a fast plant out of this. They're all going to go through that squeaky position, in fact, so Get Right flashing in. He has a chance, but he's shut down as Disco spots him, but Pith is the next to arrive on the scene, as is Exist, and both of them able to pick up quick kills. Draken goes down, and Exist very quickly closes it out. Importantly, though, Epsilon did get a plant out of this.
I was interested to see whether that tactic was a missed timing before, but it's evident it's not. The idea is as soon as those smokes go over, it's normally very telegraphed, and you can see the CTs reacting just before they bloom. But Epsilon opened the door, and they showed themselves just before the smokes land, hoping to catch some CTs by surprise there. Didn't really work out, but like I said, they got the bomb down, so that just helps boost the economy going into round number 21 here. They managed to get 4 AK so far, and Draken definitely can afford the AWP, which he will purchase here. But Forrest now on the CT side will be picking one up as well. We'll switch between himself and Pitt, but Logan Cash will be taking over the duty this time. And heading towards the B side of the map with that weapon, by himself as well.
Draken again just spamming in. He nearly finds Exist once more in that position.
Are they trying to boost again?
Yeah, they're not run boosting, they're just going for the straight.
Doesn't make any sense to me, but... Okay, but Forrest, that makes sense. He takes down Freddy B, solo play, anchoring the B side with the AWP, gets the first kill, and the man advantage once again going in favor of NiP. This huge lead that Epsilon are gathered is slowly slipping away from them. Need to be very careful now as NiP can just fall back into the bomb sites. Forrest has done the work and allow Epsilon to make the next move.
The late boost up here in middle. Disco is going to be the one boosted. Not Draken with the AWP. He's going to change his attention over toward the garage itself. The Molotov out on top of the vents, that's going to clear it. Know that they've got more opportunity to walk into middle. Where do they go? Because they don't have anyone prodding either site right now to get information, and Exist is pushed quite far up to lockers. All Rez knows he's there. He'll have heard that from the back as he walks out towards Squeaky. It's going to be 8. They're going to wrap to high weight. They've committed. They've telegraphed that much, but Exist finds them in the act, takes down Zealous. They now know mid's up. Gives Get Right the awareness, but the problem as well, because that smoke out, thankfully Pith arrives, that's bomb down on highway. Get Right can turn his full attention onto the door, spots that open, Rez falls, and Draken, 23 seconds and no bomb is against 4.
Yeah, massive kill there. As Pitt gets down the bomb, it's an almost impossible situation for the T's. Now Draken is trying to find anything he can with his AWP, but that's his position given away. Get Right flashes perfectly, takes him out at 11-10. It's actually going to be 6 rounds in a row now for NiP. And Epsilon certainly have enough to buy here. AKs across the board, but no AWP available. Not a single round gathered here for them so far on the terrorist side. Some very close calls, but hasn't worked out for Epsilon so far.
And remember, Epsilon had an 11-4 halftime. It's now 11-10. You might think, well, why aren't they timing out? Remember, both teams used their timeout in the first half. because it was 7-0, and when it went to 8-4, Epsilon elected to use theirs then, so they don't have that available. They have to figure this out on their own, and that's one way, well, for Pith to answer it back as he takes Disco over top of that boost. So still no mid-presence grab, but that is traded. Zealous with the refrag, and the second man up on the boost with the AK.
That's interesting. Is this actually thrown his incendiary there? I think he was going to land on the boost spot, but he actually blew up in the air, and he actually faced, and it's Zealous that gets a second frag as well. It's a bit of a misplay from Exist there. Actually cost him 2 kills, and now the advantage heavily in Epsilon's favor. Boros tries to react out from the vent, can't do anything about it. Zealous finds his third, and that's surely the round over, but Get Right still alive and doing work as he takes down Draken.
Does indeed. That keeps him in control of Highway, but Freiburg elects to rotate over to get closer to Get Right. They want to play the buddy system. That leaves B site open at the exact moment where Epsilon are approaching. They'll have the smoke out towards CT spawn. Tree position, allow the cross, but the buddy system working out. They time it well, and Freiburg gets 2. It's down Get Right onto Freddy, 1 versus 1. Freddy's just able to get the bomb before Get Right goes for the peek. He's in behind the boxes, but Get Right's gonna know his position on this. Waits for the peek out, but loses it. Freddy's got it. Epsilon finally on the board in the second half.
It was Zealous that opened things up towards middle, and like I said, that misthrown incendiary from Exist cost him those first few frags. He threw it from a short box, and he assumed it landed in the right position, but it was Zealous then who stepped up. Freiburg with a valiant effort here towards the B side, the double spray down, sets it up for the Clutch Master to finish things off, but he can't quite find the last bullet. Round number 23. Epsilon now losing their loss bonus after the 1 versus 1. One loss would fully reset them. He's not amazing in the CT camp, but certainly a lot stronger. And looks like, is that boost once again coming in towards the A side? It is. They're trying it once more, but successful this time.
I don't understand why they just don't run it. Get Right's gonna get on the light, door open. Again, very unlikely you'll ever check straight up on that angle. Exist does well to take 1. He's caught by Rez, but Get Right, it's only 1 from that position because as soon as he takes down Zealous, Freddy's in a position where he can actually spot him. Better still, he'll find Freiburg, never mind the reset. It's gonna have to be a clutch from Forrest. That's not gonna happen. And Epsilon are holding on.
2 big rounds there. It's a simple A play this time. The boost up once again, it's just not the greatest setup that they're so committed, the CTs, that at that point when the execution comes in, they're in front of the smokes, they're relying on the big spray downs from that live position. Get Right only finds 1. It's really awkward. You either drop down or stay up there and hope for the best. 1 frag achieved and has to readjust his aim back towards A main and just gets taken down. And it's 2 rounds in a row now for Epsilon. The scoreline going to be 13-10. We're going to round number 24. Money still available, but no AWP on the CT this time. 5 rifles, and they are lacking utility a little bit. I think incendiaries remaining after the initial exchanges of the round.
Moore's desperate through the smoke. No tracers. No information. Ready to hold for a push now. See if they can catch off NiP. Pretty standard default. Flat across the map right now on NiP. Hit the watch middle. Ellis is starting to peek in that direction. White box, good snap. Can't find the accuracy fast enough.
Pretty tense situation here as well. First kill will give a huge advantage at this stage. Bomb's still going to be down in T-spawn for Epsilon. It's a full default at the moment. Keeping most of their utility in hand. They have 3 smokes remaining and a Molotovs as well. Spread out across the map, seeing if they can get anything in this, but time is starting to tick away. 40 seconds remain. 3 players for NiP on towards the A site, but it's mid-control gathered for Epsilon. A potential A split coming in here.
A split coming in with Get Right, giving up that hold toward the doorway. He's going to be the only one here. They're rotating off this. NiP is rotating off this so early. This is a massive problem. Because again, you said it, money's not great in the NiP camp. They have to hold this. Get Right's got the information now they're on Highway. This is a problem. If they're on Highway, they have to be splitting onto A, and Pith is able to pick up 1, but Get Right, he can't stay alive in that position. And Pith has to fall off this. It's full retake. They've got the man advantage. They've got 2 kits to work with. They've got 2 flashes, but no smokes. Good pick from Exist. Down to just Rez and Freddy B, and Freddy's got good position at this forklift, well timed with the flash. He'll find Freiburg, all 3 of the remaining players of NiP, same approach, same angle, but buddy system works. Rez only picks up 1, and NiP just barely are gonna pick up this round.
Pith definitely the hero of that round after that really questionable call from NiP. They lose mid-control and just assume it's gonna be a B split at that point. There was no reason to rotate 4 players over there. Definitely the Hail Mary play. Get Right did what he could, did some considerable damage to the players on the highway, but Pith comes out and finds 3 kills in the end. Good retake from NiP, but definitely got very problematic for them. Epsilon now in a tough position. They do have enough to buy, but it'd be a bit of a stretch. may just be going in with a partial buy. I think that's exactly what's going to happen this time. Still have quite a nice buffer of rounds. They only need 2 to get it to map points. So want to make sure they have weaponry and utility to actually achieve those final rounds. Let's see what they can do with this. It's going to be more of a B-focused attack this time. They have got the Molotov and smoke grenade. That will be for CT Spawn, potentially upper as well for the Molotov, as they wait for this smoke to dissipate before they make the next move.
Smoke out in front of Pit's going to force him back slightly, but no one pushing into mid with these pistols. Zealous just playing the salesman and trying to force the CTs out of position, trying to allow this entry to be more strengthened, but it is forced, and they overlook him inside of that that checker's position, but he only gets one. He goes down, and Rez finds one on entry. Pith has to be quick on this because they have the sight. Otherwise, good play as Pith picks up 2. Rez is still underneath them, but dropping down. They man up. NiP, some bold moves to get back inside of the site. Very aggressive, and they pay off. It is still Zealous against 2, and they've got low-ish. He's mid HP on Exist that could actually pay off against this P250, and now it's low.
Absolutely.
Both sides.
Well then, he's got to get the bomb, and that's a decent grenade on towards the bomb side there. Exist goes down to 15 points of health, and they know exactly where he is. He hasn't crossed back over from the checkers room now. They have lost the vision a little bit, but 30 seconds remaining. This is a nice little setup here. Get right, guaranteeing the round. If one of them goes down, the other can face, but this has got a read on this, and actually manages to get out of position. This could be quite problematic, but there it is. Get right does finish things off, and like you said, that's a bold play from NiP. They wanted to make sure they locked that down before Epsilon had the chance to get the bomb down and set up the crossfires, and only 2 players going into those flashbangs, but it pays off. Great play. This is it on your screen right now. It's Pit and Exist doing some serious work now. NiP closing the gap, 13-12. And we're going to round number 26, all back out on Draken. NiP sticking with the rifles this time.
NiP's money still not great either, so this round could potentially still mean a save for them, putting us at 14-12 in that situation. So it's still all to play for Epsilon. They're still very much in this. At the 1-round lead. No boost on A this time, it's just Get Right up close, but watch that doorway behind him because there's 3 players behind it. As soon as it opens, Get Right tries to spray it down, but Rez, you not dare walk into the frame. Just sits and waits. This could be timely, though. With that information that there's one out towards Squeaky, if Pit can get in position to flank them fast, this could be really brilliant. And not only that, they know Zealous is inside the garage to his right. They have no information on what's immediately on the opposing side of drop, though.
Exist needs to be careful here from the highway. Draken just watching it at position like a hawk, and oh, it's so close. The timing works in his favor. They decide to have a little cheeky face. It's just coming down to this pick from Draken. They want to see if he can open up this A bomb site. As soon as he gets that kill, you know they're going to execute as fast as possibly can. There's 4 players on that side of the map. We have 1 holding the flanks, and that's Freddy.
Here goes Pith. He's already peeking it out. Doesn't have information to go for a full drop. Zealous was smart. He walked the bomb from middle toward that Squeaky position. Otherwise, Pith would have had the information. They rotated. But he's going to go right now. And this is timed perfectly. Needs to hit the shot. Does. Disco down. Rez, though, still manages to get a shot in to Get Right, but Pith's going to rotate back around and go towards Squeaky itself. He's going to get in behind Draken again, so it's just going to be Draken and Freddy and Pith again on the doorstep. Hello! Welcome to your house. I'm stealing it from you, and it is going to be closed out by Forest.
Great stuff there from NiP, just reading that like a book. You can see Epsilon was so committed to that face from this wicket door, needed to have the AWP shot to land so they could actually get in there as quickly as possible. They lost full map control, they had no actual information as to what was going on. Pick gets boosted up, finds one, and he slips a thorn in their side. He gets in behind A main, they've got no idea. Lovely movement there. They actually had a player watching the flanks towards middle, but it wasn't enough to stop the boost, I'm afraid. 13-13, NiP have fought back here after losing the first half, 11-4. It's going to be fast play towards middle, actually. The boost not really working out. They're going to be dropped out of position by the Molotov as this gets the first frag here. Takes down Zelos. 5-on-4, just Deagles available for Epsilon. This is going to be NiP taking the lead for the first time in this game.
First time in this game. Remarkable. Freddy, though, what a shot. Nails Freiburg. But first time in this game, you say it was late in the first map as well that they managed to pull the lead back. So Epsilon doing their best Toyota impression and breaking down on the last lap both times, but NiP won't mind. Rez gonna jump out toward middle. Deagle in hand, can't land the shot. Exist able to close that. 4 versus 2, round all but done. A minute to work with. Sure, they have the bomb, but these pistols not able to find much.
Yeah, absolutely. And both players got HP as well. Bomb in hand and getting some mid control, but that's not very valuable considering the situation Exist faces from the connector. He gets the double kill as well. We said he had a difficult first half, but he certainly has caught up. He's on 22 frags right now. This second half of it has been unbelievable. What a turnaround. I think he finished the first half on maybe 3 or 4 frags. So that's pretty incredible, I have to say. 14-13 now. Money available for Epsilon. Certainly not going to have the AWPs. You can see the tension getting to them a little bit now. They can feel it slipping away. As we get to the closing sectors. Comes in the last map here. The fast flashbang from Drake comes in towards middle, but he gets naded to hell there, taking down the 48 HP. And it's going to be B-sided attack here. 3 players toward that storage area. Potentially looking for a pick to kick things off, but this with Freiburg as well. Let's lock them down. Forest shooting in as well. Okay, yeah, right. Lots of information gathered there, I have to say.
The one interesting aspect of it, though, is that Rez is out towards Squeaky. He could still slip in behind.
Yeah, but his face is going to do nothing.
Its timing's it's way off because GetRight's already gone. Important kill, though, nonetheless, for Disco. If he takes down Freiburg, that'll favor the entrance. They can walk around. It's Forrest and Pit both still here, and Pit smoked off. Forrest is going to actually face this. He's going to extend his angle. Still tries to control it. Pit finds one as well. But Disco with the kill leaves Pith alone. There's Exist. Late, but gets one. He's still open to his right. He's vulnerable. Draken walks around. That smoke covers off. Pith can't do anything about it. So they keep this into a 2-on-2. Oh, this is everything. Knife out. Bye-bye.
What? Oh, man. They just had to stay alive long enough. Look at Rez's position. Why is Draken exiting at that point? He's needed to stay alive as long as possibly can. And then Rez could have done something with this. He rotated all the way from A. And I don't think they're going to realize he's there, but there it is. Great awareness. Brings NiP now to series points. 15-13, and the money's going to be in tatters as well. Maximum loss bonus achieved, but they can get AKs and Galils. That's about it. Not going to be the full buy for sure. And this is it now. What seemed like a promising opening kill from Epsilon. It was just that great push from GetRight. He goes into A storage by himself. And the flank from Freddy B doesn't really work out at all. Alright, shut up, Rez. Sorry. Okay.
Well, that works out for Freddy. Double spray. Overcommitment at mid. He picks up 2. GetRight's gonna go to the same position, but he has a nade out. Freddy's being gifted 3 quick kills that may just keep this game alive. NiP, their money's still not great, even after winning the last round. So this is a huge round for Epsilon to scalp away from them. And it's on to Freiburg, suddenly alone and very alone at B.
There's still 1 minute 20 remaining this round. That's absolutely nuts. I guess I had that godlike spawn towards the beginning where most people would go challenge towards middle before the smoke can bloom. Fast boost comes in. Freddy B capitalizes just when they needed someone to step up. He does, and then some. It's going to be Freiburg remaining, and well, this round's over, obviously. He's in T-spawn, camping it out, and I'm wondering what the hell just happened now. I'm not sure we caught that on the stream. I was looking at my own PC. But I'm sure we'll get a replay momentarily. It's going to be Epsilon clawing one back, and like you said, the money's not fantastic. And with the loss bonus and the reinvestment of grenades, the NiP money's not great. They're going to get 1,400 next round, and Forrest and Freiburg on sub $1,000. It's Pit who can drop 1, maybe 2 Thamuses. That'll be it though. He's got 8k and 2 players on sub 2. It's going to be a really tense out round. This could well go to overtime at this stage of that.
Absolutely. So Freiburg able to pull the AK across into this round. Pit says nice shot to Freddy, so obviously an impressive opening. And they've got to go to some SMGs here. Forrest is going to be limited to the UMP. Worse still, GetRight sees it at 75. Right guy to have that weapon, but perhaps the 7th man, because let's not forget Threat. Can't leave Threat out, but the crowd as they get behind NiP in this one. Overtime beacons. It's Forrest trying to get aggressive. 1-for-1 trade so far. Pith out Freiburg with 1. Doesn't mean there's rifles down if Forrest could get into position to upgrade, but they're not anywhere near where he is in a dangerous position to try and grab them anyway.
Yeah, Epsilon tried the exact same play once again, that fast boost towards middle, but there's an interesting twist for this time. NiP boosted it behind the smoke and towards the connector, and Freiburg gets the first kill, but Pit drops shortly after. Still a 4-on-4 that heavily favors the terrorists here. They have full mid control as well. CT's not reacting just yet, and it's going to be GetRight alone. Has managed to pick up an M4A4 here. He's going to be holding A side by himself. Has got some backing now from Freiburg, who's rotating in from spawn.
This did spot. Grabs M4, did spot someone inside of the mid. He doesn't know who, but it would have been Draken that was walking away. So this is still there below the vents. But a 3-1 split on defense, all based on Forrest's position. And look how aggressive he's going to get. This SMG, never mind that it's a weakened gun, but Freddy is going to open this up. He's going to have to go faster now, Forrest. And there's the shot, taps away, manages to pick it up. Now that's a rifle he can upgrade to, but he's going to rely on Exist to slow them down. Flash goes over. It's Freiburg that'll shuffle over to take the next fight. Bomb! No, not drop. Freddy is having the game of his life late to keep Epsilon alive, but it's not enough. As NiP will pick 16 rounds at the very end.
What an absolutely amazing series there. Epsilon, the unknown quantity coming into this tournament, give us a fantastic game there, right down to the wire on both maps. NiP closed things out 16-14. It wasn't comfortable, that's for sure, man. That could have easily been an overtime performance there, but Forrest pushing the B storage right at the end. He manages to pick up the UMP kills towards the end and give them a chance, and good flashbangs to slide on the terrorists as well. Epsilon, a team I think is going to be on everyone's radar this year. They go out of this tournament now, but a great future ahead of them.
And you know what? Swedish fans definitely behind NiP in this game, but by all means, give a round of applause to Epsilon. That is a massive first performance on a big stage, and my hat goes off to them. Very, very impressive stuff. Individually, yes, we knew they're coming into this, they had individual skill, but even as a team, I thought they played much better in this series as well.
They functioned very well as a unit, absolutely. Fantastic stuff from them, very impressed. And like I said, I think maybe not this year, but 2017 is going to be very interesting for them when they develop more as a team and get more experience under their belt.
Well, this sets up an incredible semi-final as well, because now Astralis play NiP tomorrow. That was the final everyone expected. Godsent might have a chance against Immortals if they can sneak in there. We could still have a double Swedish final rematch, but that's a huge test for NiP to go against Astralis to start it off.
That semi-final is going to be nuts. It's Astralis. And they've had a perfect run so far, but as NiP slipping up earlier on in the tournament, it's given us this bracket, so it's very interesting. That's going to be a great game to kick us off tomorrow.
It's funny because when Astralis made the joke, Kerrigan made the joke to me, he said, whenever we mess up in group stages, someone else messes up and we still get a hard game, but whenever we do well in group stages, someone else messes up and we get a hard game. So amazing, no matter what, it's going to be a tough road. But Smix is standing by. I believe she is standing by with Pitt. I could be wrong, but it is the NiP side.
You're actually correct, Staticus. I am here with Pitt. First of all, congratulations. You are moving on to the semifinals, but maybe not in such a convincing way as you maybe would have thought. It was a very, very close series and so much to talk about, but let's start with Overpass. Now, with Overpass, obviously they showed a really strong performance with players like Disco Doppelin having some crazy rounds. Were you guys caught off guard by that at all?
Yeah, they played really good, and we've been having some problems lately, and they had really good individual skill because they're from Sweden, of course. Everyone from Sweden is really good at Counter-Strike. So it was really hard to play against them because they had the skill.
Well, after that first victory on Overpass, many thought, okay, well, the next map is Cash. This should be a 2-0 for NiP. But for most of that map, Epsilon was in the lead. So what do you think that they did well to maintain that lead for so long? And how were you guys able to bring it back?
I just think we didn't have a good start on Cash. Like, they know how we play on Cash because we faced them yesterday on Cash. And we just had to have a timeout and talk things through. It was really hard in the beginning, but we got back on track and just closed the game.
Well, with this 2-0, you are moving on to face Astralis in the semifinals tomorrow, and you guys have a great record against Astralis this year, undefeated this year, both online and offline games online. So because of that, because of your undefeated history, does that give you any confidence headed into that match tomorrow?
Yeah, we like to play against them. They're really good players and they have a really good team, but we'd like to face them because I know they have more skill now with Cabby. He's a really good player, so it's going to be a hard game.
All right, last but not least, I have to give you this chance. These guys in the audience have been chanting for you guys non-stop. The backstage has been absolutely shaking. This is your chance to say something to the fans here for you guys.
I want to thank everyone for the support here. You guys are amazing. I have nothing more to say. Like, it's really hard to hear the cheers from in the booth, but we know the support here is amazing.
All right, well, congratulations again, Pitt. And with that, NiP will be moving on to the semifinals where they'll be facing Astralis.
Who knew Pitt could play a crowd like that? Nice work. I applaud you, Jacob. Big stuff there. All right, one last post-match for today. Of course, day 2 here of the ZOWIE Open here at DreamHack. Vendetta, Fiflaren. Can we give some Epsilon some credit where it is due? We sat there in that green room. Our jaws were on the floor. I know a lot of people in the crowd were not expecting such a spectacular game to end up our second day.
Definitely not. I was expecting, a good contest on Overpass. Cash, I was expecting that to kind of run away with it in a similar fashion as we saw on day 1, but those guys wanted it differently.
Wow.
And what was really cool as well, we've been talking a lot about Drake and we've been talking a lot about Disco Doppelin so far this weekend. But in this series, Freddy was an absolute beast. Like, he was just wrecking faces left and right. And, it was a super tight game. And especially the most mind-boggling thing for me is that it remained so close on Cash, even though in the second half, it took them 11 rounds to have the first time where they actually get the first kill of a round.
Yeah.
And even so, and like even still, it was like every round was immensely close. It was super intense. It was just a really, really fun match to watch.
With Cash fresh in our minds, were there just some kind of easily avoidable errors that could have pushed Epsilon towards winning Cash? Do you think, Robin?
No, I mean, yeah, for sure. And you saw the same tendency as you saw yesterday. Same on Cash and also Overpass, where they get the lead and then all of a sudden you see the inexperience there a little bit. They were better individually, I say, this series versus NiP. But after, when they were in the lead, they started pushing. And when
SK syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. When you're in the lead, and yeah, sure, you're going to get hyped. You feel like they don't have a reply to you. I mean, Cash was 8-0 up in favor of Epsilon. And then all of a sudden, you see these random pushes one by one, and they keep on losing that entry. And NiP is going to take advantage of that, and that's exactly what happened. And at later stages of that game, you saw, again, same thing as yesterday. They didn't really go B that much. They stuck with that A plan, and didn't really work out for them. And even the last round, they had a default in the beginning, but then they left members, or they left map control to NiP. So you saw their force just push up B. There was no one there. As soon as he sees that there's no one here, the rotation comes in. Right. Same with the previous round before that as well.
The one weapon round towards B, yeah.
Yeah, where they had to play, Epsilon ran into 4 NiP members and one that was flanking. And this was pretty. This came back again and again, even on Overpass, where they did the same thing. Defaults are great, but then when you get stuck and you can't really get a payoff for that, that's when they try something new. But you have to remember that you have to still keep members on certain parts of the map, just in case, because NiP will push and they will see that there's no one there, and then all of a sudden, instead of battling 2 or 3 people, you end up battling 4, and one that's going to be flanking super fast.
And it was just kind of a recurring theme, constantly seeing NiP just have that positional advantage over the youngster Swedes. We're very impressed by Epsilon, though, and let's have a quick look at their stats. We talked about Freddie B, and it's showing that he did step up, and the stats don't lie either, however. I know you don't like to get too hung up on the numbers, but it's great to see that it was a true team effort from Epsilon as they pushed it to NiP.
Absolutely. Overpass, the Disco Doppelin and Freddie were kind of the main stars of that show. But on Cash, it was literally everyone stepping on each and every round. You had Celos with a massive 3K to kind of open things up on their key sub when they were really struggling, not finding anything in weapon rounds. You had, absolutely everyone at some point stepped up from Epsilon. So, it just goes to show, even though we talk a lot about specific profiles on various teams, and I mean, there's a reason why the rest of the guys are there as well.
And I mean, let's not forget as well, we framed this. Our pre-match was very, very realistic. We said this is going to be a very quick NiP 2-0. Epsilon learned something from their errors. We've actually learned more about Epsilon, I think, during this one. And I mean, Henry and Sadicus were talking about it. He's expecting big things for Epsilon coming into 2017. Is it safe to say, this is an exciting prospect, this is kind of a new team on the block, or is this going to be a little bit of flash in the pan? What do we think?
Whether or not it's going to be a new team on the block, I definitely think we're going to have new players on the block. Because obviously, if some of these players keep performing, it's very hard to say no to an already established top team, right?
Absolutely.
So it's really hard for your teams that break through to actually maintain that 5 lineup, that 5er for an extended period of time. If they manage to do so, and if they actually manage to have continuous growth, then that, all credit to them, and that's just an amazing feat. But it's really hard to see this team staying intact for that long if they're just going to have this kind of extreme improvement.
Incredibly honest and realistic answer from Halvor there. Any closing thoughts on this matchup? We have spent the entire time talking about Epsilon. And is there anything, towards NiP in this semi-final? What are we thinking? I
mean, it is really hard to base the 2 games that NiP has played, well, actually 3 games, because they were all versus Swedish opponents. And current form, I mean, just based off that, they hardly win pistol rounds so far this tournament, have an extremely difficult time versus Swedes. So I don't know, I feel like this is Astralis in to potentially end up winning for the first time versus NiP in 2016. Just look at the demos, look at what Godsent and also Epsilon did good, and try to replicate that a little bit. At least get a hunch of what are NiP's weaknesses and take that into your consideration for tomorrow's game.
And we will bring up the bracket as well to show you what tomorrow's games. They are 2 phenomenal games. We've waved goodbye now to a set of teams, and now we do just have 4 remain. Half of our teams have been purged, and we're going to be seeing quite the spectacular 2 games. Of course, grand final as well. 3 best of 3s coming up tomorrow. We start with Astralis NiP. We have Godsent Immortals as well. It's going to be, we could potentially, and this is very much a potentially, as you've highlighted already, Robin, it's going to be a journey in that semi-final, but a rematch of that NiP Godsent game that will go down in infamy from DreamHack Masters and Malmo. It's It's been a pretty big game. Actually, I do want to correct myself. It's Godsent versus Immortals first, so NiP will be able to put their feet up and not rush into another game of Counter-Strike. It's been a great day 2. Next up, we have, of course, we start at about, I think it was 10 o'clock. I do want to make sure, confirm that.
11.
10:30, there you go. 10:30
Okay.
tomorrow, we're going to be playing some Counter-Strike, and it's going to be awesome. 2 semi-finals and a grand final are on the way. For all, though, it's been the crowd have been great. What do you expect when NiP are putting up performance like that? And Epsilon, I think they probably converted a few fans as well today. So we've learned a lot about a lot of Swedes, and now we're going to take a break. Before I go, though, there's this app. You've got to grab it on your smartphone. It's called the Score eSports application. I'm becoming known for plugging this app. It's getting pretty funny. But anyway, do be sure to check it out, articles, stats, and all of that good stuff over there. From all of us here at DreamHack, we will see you tomorrow for 2 semi-finals and a grand final. It's been great. We'll see you tomorrow.